Brother, what I'm about to tell you will challenge everything you think you know about attraction. It will make some people uncomfortable, others angry, and many will deny it outright. But if you care more about truth than comfort, you need to hear this. Brother, what I'm about to tell you is something women will never openly admit. In fact, if you ask them directly, they will deny it completely. They will call it toxic, manipulative, outdated. But do not listen to words. Watch behavior instead. When you observe actions rather than explanations, you will see the same pattern play out again and again across every culture, every generation, and every type of woman. There is one thing that works on every single woman, regardless of what she says she wants. It does not matter if she is traditional or modern, educated or not, conservative or liberal. This bypasses conscious preferences and triggers something deep in female psychology. Something instinctive. Something she cannot fully control, even when she becomes aware that it is happening. And here is why women will never admit this truth. Because admitting it would mean acknowledging that attraction is not as rational as they claim. It would mean accepting that their choices are driven more by instinct and biology than by logic, values, or ideals. It would mean confronting the uncomfortable reality that what people say they want and what actually creates attraction are often two completely different things. In my own study and practice of Stoicism, I have learned one essential lesson about human nature. People lie to themselves constantly about their true motivations, not out of malice, but out of self-protection. Stoic philosophy teaches us to see reality clearly, without illusion, without comforting stories. And when you apply that lens to attraction, you see something very different from what is commonly claimed. The reality of female attraction is not what is spoken, it is what is demonstrated. Today, I am revealing the one thing that works on every woman without exception, not a trick, not a line, but a fundamental truth about attraction that operates whether she wants it to or not. This may make you uncomfortable. It may even make you angry. But Stoicism teaches that discomfort is often the price of clarity. If you are ready to see reality instead of clinging to comfortable lies, stay with me. Here it is. The thing that works on every woman without exception. The thing she will never openly admit. Indifference to her validation, combined with clear purpose in your own life. Not being mean, not being unavailable, not playing games, but genuine, authentic indifference to whether she approves of you, combined with being deeply invested in something that matters to you more than her attention. Let me explain why this is so powerful and why it is rarely spoken aloud. First, understand what triggers attraction at the deepest level. Through observation and reflection grounded in Stoic thought, I have learned that women are instinctively drawn to men who have options, men who are desired by others, men whose lives are full enough that losing one person would not destroy them. This signals abundance at a subconscious level. When you are genuinely indifferent to her validation, you communicate abundance without saying a single word. You show that your worth does not rise or fall based on her approval. You signal that you have purpose, direction, and inner stability. And abundance is magnetic, because scarcity is repulsive. Second, indifference combined with purpose demonstrates that you are a complete person. You do not need another human being to feel whole. You may want to share your life with someone of quality, but you do not require anyone to complete you. This is deeply attractive, because neediness is the universal killer of attraction. Most men are desperate for female validation. They adjust their behavior based on her reactions. They chase approval. They make her the center of their universe. They need her to like them. And that need leaks into every interaction, silently destroying attraction before it can even form. But the man who is genuinely indifferent, the man focused on his mission, his goals, his purpose, treats her interest as a pleasant addition to his life, not the main event. That man triggers something primal, something instinctive, something she cannot reason her way out of. Third, this creates psychological tension. When every other man is chasing her, seeking her approval, trying to impress her, you are the one who is not. You are engaged with your own life. You are absorbed in your own work, discipline, and direction. You are not trying to win her. You are evaluating whether she deserves a place in your life. This reversal creates what can be observed as a natural challenge response. Humans desire what must be earned. When validation is not freely given, when attention must be earned, investment increases. Not because of manipulation, but because standards exist. You are not impressed by appearance alone. You are not handing over your focus cheaply. Fourth, indifference to her validation paired with deep commitment to purpose demonstrates value through action, not words. You do not announce your worth. You live it. Your time and energy are invested in building something, becoming something, pursuing something meaningful. She can see that your life has direction, with or without her. This is very different from the man who drops everything the moment she shows interest. The man who is always available because he has nothing else. The man who turns her into his purpose because he has no real one. That behavior signals low value through neediness and over-availability. Now, here is why women will never openly admit this works. Because it contradicts what modern narratives say about relationships. They are told they should want men who are always emotionally available, who prioritize the relationship above all else, who make them the center of their world. And so they repeat those ideals because they sound correct. But Stoicism teaches us to observe actions, not declarations. Who do they actually choose? Who do they chase? Who holds their interest over time? It is not the man who is endlessly available and centered on the relationship. It is the man with purpose, boundaries, and genuine indifference to whether she stays or leaves. This creates internal conflict. Admitting attraction to indifference sounds shallow, or cruel, or socially unacceptable. So it is reframed. He's confident. He knows what he wants. He's focused and driven. These are simply more acceptable ways of describing indifference to validation combined with purpose. Let me show you how this looks in real life. The man who texts constantly, who responds immediately to every message, who asks when he can see her again and again. She loses interest quickly. Why? Because his behavior reveals that nothing in his life matters more than her attention. No purpose, no direction, only need. Now compare that to the man who texts when he has something meaningful to say, who is sometimes unavailable, not as a tactic, but because he is genuinely busy building his life, who does not rush to respond because his world does not pause for validation. That difference is not strategy, it is identity. And that is where attraction truly begins. Was focused on something else. She stays engaged. She wonders what he is doing. She feels that she needs to work to maintain his attention because he is clearly not desperate for hers. The man who immediately agrees to her schedule, rearranges his life to accommodate her, and drops his plans the moment she becomes available is taken for granted. Why? Because his constant availability signals that he has nothing important going on. His willingness to drop everything communicates that he values her attention more than his own time. But contrast this with the man who has his own schedule and invites her into it only when it works for both of them. The man who says, calmly and without apology, "I can't tonight. I've got something important to handle, but how about Thursday?" She respects his time. She makes effort to fit into his schedule. Why? Because his time clearly has value. He does not give it away cheaply. Now look at another pattern. The man who constantly seeks her approval. Are you happy? Do you like me? Are we okay? Attraction fades quickly. Why? Because his need for reassurance signals insecurity. He is placing responsibility for his emotional state on her. He is asking her to stabilize him. But the man who is secure in himself, who assumes things are fine unless told otherwise, who is focused on living his life instead of monitoring her approval levels, keeps her attracted. His calm confidence and indifference to constant validation communicate inner strength. Now here is what is critical to understand. This is not about being cold. It is not about being mean, dismissive, or disrespectful. It is about having genuine purpose in your life, something that matters more to you than the validation of any single woman. The difference is authenticity. If you perform indifference while feeling desperate inside, she will sense it. If you pretend to have purpose while your life is empty, she will discover it. This only works when it is real. You must actually build a life worth living. Develop real purpose. Set meaningful goals. Create something. Build something. Become something. Make your life so full and engaging that female attention becomes an enhancement, not the main event. When your purpose is genuine, Indifference to her validation is not an act. It is natural. You are not trying to look busy. You are busy. You are not trying to look focused. You are focused. You are not trying to appear as if you have options. You have options. Men with purpose naturally attract opportunities, people, and choice. From my own experience living and applying Stoic principles, I have learned this fundamental truth. Peace comes from focusing on what is within your control and releasing attachment to what is not. Your effort, your discipline, your character, your direction, these belong to you. Another person's approval, attraction, or decisions do not. When you devote your energy to what is in your power and remain calm and indifferent toward what is not, you naturally develop the very quality that creates attraction, grounded independence combined with clear direction. Now let me address the obvious objection. But women say they want emotional availability and prioritization. Yes, they do say this. And they do want those things from the right man. The man who has already demonstrated value through purpose and indifference to validation. Once she is invested, once she is pursuing, once she is trying to secure your commitment, emotional availability becomes meaningful and desirable. But during the attraction phase, emotional availability without purpose is interpreted as neediness, not strength. This is the sequence. First, you demonstrate value through purpose and indifference to validation. This creates attraction and pursuit. Second, once she is invested, you reveal emotional depth and availability. This is how attraction transforms into real connection. Most men reverse this order. They lead with emotional openness, vulnerability, and prioritization, hoping it will create attraction. It does not. Availability does not create attraction. Value does. And value is demonstrated through purpose and non-attachment. Now let's talk about how to implement this in real life, because understanding the principle is meaningless if you do not embody it. First, develop real purpose. Not something invented to impress women, but something that matters to you independently. Career growth, physical training, creative work, building a business, mastering a skill. Whatever genuinely engages you and gives you a sense of progress and contribution, make that the center of your life. Second, structure your time around that purpose. Your schedule should reflect your priorities, your work, your training, your projects, your development. Women are invited into your life when it aligns with your schedule, not the other way around. Third, stop seeking female validation for your decisions. Make choices based on what serves your values and your direction. If she approves, fine. If she does not, also fine. Her approval does not determine what is right for your life. Fourth, become comfortable walking away. If she is disrespectful, you leave. If she wastes your time, you leave. If the relationship does not add value to your life, you leave. This is not cruelty. It is self-respect. It is enforcing standards because you value your time and energy. Fifth, maintain options. Date without attachment until exclusivity is chosen. Stay social. Keep developing yourself. Continue meeting new people. Abundance is not something you pretend to have. It is something you build by becoming a man whose life is full, disciplined, and directed. When you truly live this way, indifference to any single woman's validation becomes natural. You are not performing it. You are genuinely indifferent because purpose drives you and options exist in your life. And that genuine indifference, that authentic independence from outcomes, is what creates unstoppable attraction. Women feel it immediately. They sense the difference between a man who truly does not need them and a man who is pretending not to need them. The genuine version is magnetic. The fake version is transparent and repulsive. This is why women will never openly admit this works, because admitting it means acknowledging that they are attracted to men who do not prioritize them above everything else. Men who are focused on their own direction. Men who do not need their validation. That sounds shallow. It sounds like attraction to emotionally unavailable men. But that is not what this is. You are not emotionally unavailable. You are emotionally complete. You do not need her to complete you. You are offering to share an already complete life with her, if she is worth it. That is fundamentally different from being closed off. The emotionally unavailable man is empty internally and keeps women at a distance to hide that emptiness. The man with purpose and indifference is full internally. He is open to sharing his life with someone who adds value, not someone who only demands attention. Women are drawn to the second type, even if they cannot clearly explain why. They just know that being around him feels different. He is not chasing, he is not needing, he is not performing. He is simply living his life, deeply engaged with what matters to him. She can either add value to that life or not. Either way, he is steady. Let me bring this home. The one thing that works on every woman, what she will never openly admit, is genuine indifference to her validation combined with clear purpose in your own life. This works because it signals abundance, demonstrates value, creates psychological tension, and activates deep attraction mechanisms that operate beyond conscious control. Women will not admit this works because it contradicts what they believe they are supposed to want. It sounds like attraction to men who do not care. But observe behavior instead of listening to words, and you will see this pattern everywhere. This is not about being mean. It is not about playing games. It is not about being unavailable. It is about building a life so rich in purpose and meaning that any single woman's validation becomes optional rather than essential. It is about creating real options through discipline, growth, and engagement with life. It is about being complete on your own, so relationships enhance you instead of defining you. Through years of studying and applying Stoic principles in my own life, I have learned this simple truth. Focus on what you control and remain calm and indifferent toward what you do not. Your effort, your discipline, your character, your direction. These are yours. Her attraction, her choices, her validation. These are not. When you live according to this principle, when you truly invest in building yourself and your life while remaining unattached to the approval of any specific woman, you become magnetic. Not because you are trying to attract, but because you have become the kind of man people naturally move toward. Build real purpose. Make it your priority. Let women fit into your life instead of shaping your life around getting women. Maintain real abundance through continuous self-development and social engagement. Remain authentically indifferent to validation, while open to genuine connection with someone who adds value. Do this, and you will see exactly what I mean. Women will pursue what they claim they do not want. They will chase what they say turns them off. They will be drawn to what they insist is not attractive, because reality does not respond to declarations. It responds to behavior. Human nature follows its own rules. Now you know the truth. The only question left is this. Are you willing to actually build the life that makes this natural rather than performed? Because that is the only way this works, not as a tactic, but as a way of living.